Breaking news, the 13th scientist found burned in Tesla at the age of 29. This is the 13th scientist who has passed away behind the recent deaths of scientists. 29.
Breaking news at 7, almost a dozen people in the hospital tonight after a boat explosion at the Haulover Sandbar. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue rushed.
Witnesses say this...
At this point, Disney just needs to be shut down and investigated. Because what do they mean 28 crew members on a Disney cruise ship were arrested?
We do have a breaking news update that I want to bring to you here on Live Now from Fox. This just now coming in from New Jersey's governor, putting this up on your screen. Governor Mikey Sherrill.
I'm going to wake him up with this one.
Do you know that a pig is a grafted animal? It's 3 animals put together. It's a cat, rat, and a dog. It was a eugenics experiment.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the foundation. A1 Lucky, and you tuned into The Awakening, a channel where each one teach one, and the truth shall set you free. Now, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. And remember, anything in the video for educational or entertainment purposes only. Now, yeah, and one more thing. I know y'all see the background change and all that, but I had an emergency, so I had to go out of town. That's why I ain't doing no videos in like 4 or 5 days now, but I'm back, y'all. So without further ado, let's get woke, people.
Breaking news, the 13th scientist found burned in Tesla at the age of 29. This is the 13th scientist who has passed away behind the recent deaths of scientists. 29-year-old Joshua LeBlanc was not just any NASA engineer. He worked on nuclear propulsion systems, one of the most sensitive areas in aerospace. Police say his body burned beyond recognition, and police confirmed his identity 3 days later after the body was transported to the Alabama Department of Forensic Science. At the time, his family said they feared he had been abducted and that he had left his phone and wallet in his home at the time of the disappearance. Why are all these scientists leaving their phones behind when they leave? So since he didn't have his phone, police tracked LeBlanc down using data from his Tesla Sentry mode and found that his vehicle sat at the airport in Huntsville for hours on the morning of his passing. His family said his trip west was not part of his plan for the day, and that uncharacteristically he was not communicating with them. Officials are currently treating the incident as a traffic-related accident, and there is no confirmed evidence of foul play. However, the case is drawing significant attention online, as some reports claim LeBlanc may be part of a broader pattern involving multiple scientists who have died or gone missing in recent years. Authorities have not confirmed any connection between these cases. The investigation remains ongoing.
Breaking news at 7, almost a dozen people in the hospital tonight after a boat explosion at the Haulover Sandbar. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue rushed.
Witnesses say this explosion happened quick. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue deemed this a level 2 mass casualty incident because of the amount of people.
We saw 3 people fly out of the boat.
A captain's worst nightmare happened. An explosion that he says can only be caused by gas. 5 units responded, including a fireboat and ocean rescue. Witnesses said the boat was surrounded within minutes and almost a dozen people were being hauled off on stretchers.
Just saw a lot of them with burns all over them, and I said that is a hot fire. It's quick, but it's high octane gasoline, and so a lot of them they got burnt, and it was an explosion.
Miami-Dade Fire Rescue said this was a joint response with Florida Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Battalion Chief, reminding people to always prioritize safety when spending time.
The CDC confirms at least 115 people aboard a Princess cruise ship have been sickened with the norovirus. So far, 102 passengers and 13 crew members have reported symptoms. Health officials say all affected individuals have been isolated from other travelers. That ship departed from Fort Lauderdale last month. It's scheduled to return tomorrow. The CDC says this outbreak, along with cases of the hantavirus and other illnesses, marks the 4th gastrointestinal outbreak on a cruise ship this year.
At this point, Disney just needs to be shut down and investigated. Because what do they mean 28 crew members on a Disney cruise ship were arrested for child porn? Disney has had this rumor on them since I was a child, and they've still been able to operate as a liable business. The fact that Disney Channel's main target audience is kids and they constantly have these accusations on their name is ridiculous. Well, they ain't accusations no more because 28 people have been arrested, okay? On a Disney cruise ship. So you telling me this hantavirus cruise ship epidemic is just a distraction for something much, much bigger? And it makes sense because when you look up cruise ship, you don't see nothing about this Disney stuff, okay? You literally have to go to the search bar, type it in, and see what's going on because it's not just gonna come down your news feed, obviously. If we gonna boycott anything, boycott Disney. Boycott Disney because they've been getting away with this type of stuff for years. It's time to get them up out of here, man, for real.
Alright, y'all. First clip is getting crazy again, y'all. Another scientist gone. This time he blew up. He crashed his Tesla and blew up. What's really beginning to happen? Like, these scientists just know too much, I think. And as that, I don't think they want them to say anything about nothing to nobody. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. The second clip, that was just crazy. Dude out in their boat exploded. In a haul over sandbar. That was crazy. Actual real life scene, you know, a boat blow up like that is just crazy. I hope everybody's alright. But I don't know. Let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. And the third clip is crazy because 115 people is now, and before it was what? Hantavirus, just the hantavirus. Now it's 100 people on another cruise ship. And now this time they talking about the norovirus. Not the Hanta, but the norovirus. Do y'all believe they trying something just to get these viruses out there? Somehow hoping one of them could become a mass virus, basically. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. The fourth clip is just crazy, like before, it's being swept under the rug, never spoken about. But you know, us the people gonna do what we gotta do. But 28 people on that Disney cruise ship, man, what's going on? We not hearing nothing about it. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section.
We do have a breaking news update that I want to bring to you here on Live Now from Fox. This just now coming in from New Jersey's governor, putting this up on your screen. Governor Mikey Sherrill saying this: 2 New Jersey residents are potentially exposed to hantavirus, saying the New Jersey Department of Health has been notified by the CDC that 2 New Jersey residents were potentially exposed to a person infected with hantavirus after that individual departed from the cruise ship MV Hondias. Those residents were not passengers on the ship, but the potential exposure occurred during air travel abroad. Both of those individuals are now being monitored in coordination with local health officials and are not currently showing any symptoms. Risk to the public remains very low. There are no confirmed cases of hantavirus in New Jersey. We will keep continuing to keep those residents informed as this situation develops. Once again, did want to bring that to you as breaking news, as of course we've been talking a lot about hantavirus, the potential spread, and where those things stand now at this hour.
I'm gonna wake them up with this one.
Do you know that a pig is a grafted animal? It's 3 animals put together. It's a cat, rat, and a dog. It was a eugenics experiment that mixed the cat, rat, and dog genetic makeup to produce the pig.
Stop playing.
Think about that. Yeah, cat, rat, and dog. That's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us. Cat, rat, and dog. Scientists invented the pig. Cat, rat, and dog. Look at it.
Cat, rat, and
Think
dog.
about it. Doesn't it look like a rat a little bit? Barks like a dog. Look at the boar, the original pig. Fast and frisky like a cat. In the Bible, in the book of Isaiah, it tells, when it starts talking about the pig, it talks about the swine and the mouse because it's connected together. But if you have inside of a swine, pig, a cat, rat, and dog, these are natural enemies of one another. Dogs chase cats, cats chase rats. So the nature of a pig is self-conflicted. So if I'm eating it and you are what you eat.
How they made you believe time was real, you Anunnaki gods. The oxygen, because they told you time was real, and then you see motherfuckers aging. No, they not aging because of this fake sense of shit called time. It's the oxygen which makes the body begin to what they call age. This is the true reason the body begins to age, and you can look at somebody 80 and they look different than somebody that's 8. The being, the soul is 8. Avatar hasn't been exposed to oxygen as long as the vessel is 80. It's the oxygen. Remember, Your DEA is linked by what? Hydrogen. Hydrogen, you see that little, okay, you got the helix, you got the double helix. You really have 3, but on here they're going to show you 2 because they want you to believe you have DNA. We have DEA, so it should be 3. You see 1 and 2. You really got 3. Okay? Those are the DEA double helix strands. But you see this little link right here, look like a little ladder to connect them? Those are hydrogen links.
Greetings, soldiers. This is General Savat with an emergency broadcast at East, soldiers. Let's begin. The end. All right. So this whole thing that I'm going to talk about on tonight, I'm actually going to have, I believe, a podcast on this. And I'll be honest with you, this is kind of all over the place. So let's just stay with me while I try and do this. Y'all go do your own research. All right. Holidays. Number 1, holidays equals fallen angels. Okay. Real quick. January 1st is not New Year's. It's the New Year's is April 1st. We all know this. That's old news, right? And what also is old news, but a lot of people don't know, is that January is actually talking about Janus. All right. These are all the children, the relatives of the Nephilim, demons, lineage of Cain, fallen angels, Nimrod. I mean, you name it. All these people. Okay. Stay with me on this, right? Let's keep it moving. Number 2, this I had to confirm with, yes, myself, but also my wife. There are no holidays post 2030. Okay, well, what do you mean by that? So go on your iPhone right now, right? And you'll see, choose the year 2027 or even 2026 and choose any holiday. I don't care what holiday it is. Let's just keep it easy. Let's talk about, since we're talking about January, let's talk about January 1st, right? So in 2026, we have New Year's. 2027, New Year's. 2028, New Year's. 2029, New Year's. 2030, nothing. No packet. Jelly, no jelly. No Merc. Let's keep her moving. The reason for that is what I believe here. Just hear me out. Holidays are built for worship prep of the fallen angels. Just stay with me, please. Right? Let me say that again. Holidays were created to worship the fallen angels. Right? But the reason why there are no more holidays post 2030 is because they'll be here. Hold up. Just hold up. Just. The reason I believe, and I am 100% wrong, this is not real, this is fake, it's not true, everything I'm saying is not, is the reason why is because they will be here in all these times that you're celebrating Mother's Day, Christmas, Tammuz, Janus, January 1st, October 31st, Trick or Treat, Anton LaVey, is because all of them will be here. But just in case you think I'm capping, because I am. Apollyon / Shiva, also found in Revelation 9 verse 11. What does that have to do with that video that I just said about Fern? You will notice that Shiva is over there, right? But Revelation chapter 9 verse 11 says that they arise, or he arise from the bottomless pit or whatever. And I'm thinking, what does Fern, come on, and the bottomless pit and all of these fallen angels? Has anybody ever seen, you know exactly what I'm talking about. What's that movie? The Avengers? Well, what happened with the Avengers? How were they coming out? They were coming out through portals from the sky. Then also things coming from below. And I already told people, listen, whenever you see movies about them coming from the sky, I think that's just a reversal. I think everything comes from the ocean, but let's keep it moving. Okay. Let's keep it going. So number 5, you will notice that the Paris Olympics in the year 2024 was literally depicting the end. That's when you saw, you know, the ending credits or whatever. You saw that it was all the demons and all that stuff. The Greys, right? You saw that who descended upon the sky and fell all the way down into what? Landed on the temple of Pan. Okay, hear me out. When I mean the Temple of Pan, that's where you get Mount Hermon, Temple of Pan, Caesarea Philippi, Caesarea Philippi. When even I know I'm all over the place, but hear me out. I'm telling you, there was a portal in Scripture, I believe in the book of Luke, where Moses and Elijah had to come through this portal, and the whole reason why Yahusha was even there was to reclaim and close the gate of the angelic rebellion. And we're talking about the fallen angels. I'm telling you, everything here is connected. Let me see how much time I got. We're moving. Let's keep it moving. Okay. Numbers. And it's crazy because the temple of Pan is actually Azazel. Now you're going to be like, well, what about Samyaza? I already told you before. I know this is a lot, that Samyaza is bound for 5,000 years. Azazel, it says in the book of Enoch, Michael bind him and ascribe all sin to him. That's what it says in the book of Enoch. All right. I believe chapter 8, 9, or 10. Let's keep it moving. Global warming equals the Ice King. So we have Game of Thrones, we have Adventure Time. I mean, they're always depicting this ice wall, and I'm telling you, they're telling you 2030. Come on now. Hey, TikTok, I'm saying we all should do our part. That's what I was saying. That in 2030, the reason why they're talking about global warming is because whatever is melting is about ready to come from that abyss. Let's keep it moving. And finally, days of Noah. In Matthew 24, verse 37, I told you everywhere in the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, is talking about these watchers, these fallen angels, all of them. Okay? The lineage of Cain, the lineage of Lucifer, they're all talking about it, right? And it says, as in the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. So what the frick is coming in 20? I gotta go.
Oh boy, first clip is getting closer. 2 people in New Jersey is tested, I guess, positive now for the hantavirus. Closer to New York and wherever else, but for the next few weeks, people, I think we're gonna be hearing a whole lot about this hantavirus, and now maybe to add on the neurovirus too. Let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments section. Second clip is a clip I'm not sure if everybody know, but we basically all should know these pigs are not real. And he said the pig is made up from a rat, a cat, and a dog. A rat, a cat, and a dog. Let me know how y'all feel about that, because I know a lot of people out there too don't eat pigs. And me as myself, I'm about to quit, because I didn't eat pork for like 20 odd years, and then I started back, but now I'm about to quit again. But rat, cat, oh my gosh, man, this is crazy. Let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. And the third clip is, do y'all think oxygen is really good for us? Like, do y'all think oxygen is the reason why we age or not? Let me know how y'all feel, or should I say age quicker than we supposed to? Well, let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. And fourth clip, basically the general once again talking about, you know, the end and the holidays, which is basically all a form of ritual to have us under that veil. You know what I'm saying? But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section.
Walter Disney was a high-ranking Freemason. He is a Masonic stamp dedicated to him, and his very exclusive Club 33, which stands for the 33 degrees of Freemasonry. And who's the god of the 33rd degree Freemason? Walt Disney. Well, Walter hides the answer in plain sight, because that's what Freemasons do. Firstly, the god of Mr. Disney is wicked. See how they veil evil with a cloak of innocence? What does the word veil itself conceal? Secondly, Walter's god is horny, symbolized by the horned god of the witches. And we all know Walt Disney loves magic, which is witchcraft. So the depictions of sex are hidden in plain sight as well. Remember, lust produces life, not love. So lust is purity, lust is love for the high degree Freemason. And thirdly, he hides the number of his God's name in the open as well. No, that's not a 666 he's seeing interwoven in the design. That would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? Not even when they separate the sixes from the name, all three of them, and place them together for you like this, in plain sight. No, not even then will people see.
I don't even know how to start this video off. I don't even know how, because I gotta be careful even saying this, but there's a couple people I've seen on IG, and let me tell you, if you can't say this on IG, then yeah, I know I can't say it on TikTok. People are sending meat that they buy from Walmart, Safeway, you name it. Hey, you name the supermarket, anywhere. You know what I mean? Acme, Rite Aid. They're buying the meat, right? The ground beef, the ground turkey, the ground pork. They're buying the meat. And they're testing it. I can't say on here what the results are. I can't. But I can tell you, stop eating the meat. Stop. I'll tell you one result. 12,000 different DNA strands in one pack of ground beef. I'll tell you that. That I will tell you. 12,000 different DNA strands. I didn't just pluck that number out of nowhere. That's what's been reported. But if anyone tries to show you the results of this, see if I'm lying. Go ahead. Some of y'all got money. Test the meat and then try to upload your results. Yeah. Try. Since we're all, fearmongers, we're all liars. They didn't tell you that they're eating and drinking the blood of babies. Nah, we're liars. Have a great day. You sit on that. Peace, guys.
In 1994, there was an anime that was released that flew over everybody's heads called The Dietary Genesis. Let me show y'all what it is. Sounds for the country.
Isabella's lease is void. You have no right to foreclose on Amorica. The Reconquista is global, Emperor.
You have no right to foreclose on Amorica. Isabella's lease is over with. It's about to get good. Reconquista was global.
By this sale of the kingdom, we shall bleach the memory of your empire and hide your ancient technology beneath the veil of our new history.
We shall bleach your history and hide your ancient technology underneath the veil. Signs are for the conscious mind, Phantom Timeline.
The sky opens, the kings of fire rule. Cities of glass and gold fall into ash.
Behold the power of the high priests of Anu turned against their own kind. The Inquisition is already at the gates, and they are coming to bleach the memory of every Moor in Almagre.
They turned on their own kind. And once again, bleaching the memory. Or we could say ethnic cleansing or ethnocide, since we know what it is. Let's keep going.
We were of the same vine. We were family. How could you agree to the sale of the kingdom and let these Roman inquisitors bleach our very memory?
Side note, y'all know in 1986, there was a comic book, cartoon, and action figure that was published by the Olmec Toys called The Sun Man. Look who's the Sun Man. Where did they really get Superman from?
We have brought you out of the caves of the north to give you the gift of civilization. You shall serve as our janissaries.
In the sale of the Moorish kingdom, I have traded your flesh for the ancient technology of the underworld. With these free energy orbs, we shall establish a new jurisdiction of the West and rule as God.
We have sold the Moorish birthright. And with this new technology, we will take over the West, America, and become the new gods.
Behold the New York Island. Here, the giants of the Longhouse once walked, and our Delaware Moorish brethren.
They even had Queen Khalifa in that thing. She said, the giants of New York and Rhode Island, let's help our Moorish brethren.
The capture of Jerusalem in the west was but the first stone. Now we sail for Haiti to extinguish the last of the French Moors and seize the ancient technology of the island.
They're going to sail to the Jerusalem of the west. Remember what we learned yesterday? And capture and seize the rest of the Moors in Haiti, the French Moors.
The time of the traditional Moors at an end. By the sale of the kingdom, we shall bleach their names from the record and take the jurisdiction of the West.
With Emperor Montezuma, the last Moorish king to hold the sun throne of the West.
Florida was never a colony, but the Iberian Peninsula of the West.
They said we was family. You heard what they said about Florida? It was the Iberian of the West. America's the real old world, we keep telling y'all. And they keep telling y'all too. You know they always put the truth in cartoons and movies.
Bleach the memory of your empire.
The Jesuit inquisitors and their Roman masters have come to bleach our memory and seize our ancient technology. But behold, the kingdom of the West has joined our banner. You return to the Armorican estates as a dog of the papacy. Your Queen Isabella bought a lease from Essegal, but she attempts a foreclosure.
Y'all remember the book that we read about a long time ago that we will recover? The Algonquin conquest of the Mediterranean region 11,000 years ago. Screenshot. Another dope book, The Anaclipsis, an attempt to draw aside the veil. Another dope book, The Golden Age of the Moors. Hey man, we ain't capping when we be dropping these gems, man. Let's keep going.
With these free energy orbs, we shall forge a new jurisdiction of the West and rule as God. We shall erase their names from the record and claim the jurisdiction of the West.
In the shadows of a forgotten empire, the sky itself became the weapon. One king would ignite the heavens.
All right, our first clip. Do y'all really believe Walt Disney is a Freemason? I mean, these people do a lot of things that they don't get in trouble for. These people do have a lot of power and such, and a lot of the numbers that revolve around them. Like you always see 33 and certain numbers. Like, do y'all really believe he's a powerful Freemason though? Mr. Walter Disney, as they say. Let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section, because it's crazy what's going on with them 20 crews from his cruise ship. But yeah, let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. And the test results that these people, everybody, a lot of people from TikTok, whatever, they've been buying these meats from these grocery stores like Walmart and places, getting the tester or whatever grocery store they go to, get the tester, you test, send it in, get the meat tested, and the meat is not coming back as 100%, 90%, even nothing. It's lower than that. Like, it's not really meat, people. Well, it's the type of meat it is. You understand? It's not the meat it's supposed to be, the beef or the whatever. It's not that. So we have a good idea of what it is, basically. But let me know how y'all feel about that, because that's just crazy. And the third clip is basically a cartoon they used to have. That cartoon, I need to see that. I'm gonna go try to find it so I can watch it, because that cartoon is depicting the powers we have, and it's also showing them saying everything they did, you know, erase our history, brainwash them, so on and so forth. But let me know how y'all feel about that, because that's a very serious cartoon right there. As they put everything in cartoons, or they might put it in comics, or, you know, that's where the real stuff is at. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section.
Let me show y'all something. Where you gonna go? This shit barbed down, top to bottom. Where you gonna go? You know something crazy? If you in the main facility all day, right? And then they want to let you get some fresh air, it's called a fucking rec yard. This is a big ass fucking rec yard. And understand, when I say it's barbed down, I'm talking about all the way front to back. All the way front to back. You can't make this type of shit up with them guards and them exits. What is it gonna matter? What is it gonna matter? How many exits they got? Space alone right here. Just leave 4 or 5 people come through. This entire space right here. This is this space alone. And then there's every and was taken. And the rest was people there. Up top. That's crazy. It's an institution. This is at least 3 people comfortably. This is at minimum 3 people comfortably. That's just this one alone. It ain't coming down.
I'm not political, all right? I don't believe in Republican or Democrat because it's not in the Constitution, it's not in our Declaration of Independence. It's just American, one nation under God. Whatever they do as one. The trick is to give us the illusion that there is a choice, that there is a separation, to keep us fighting over these things. These things right here. To keep us not talking about the fact that we're working harder. 5 generations now. We're working harder than our great-great-great-grandparents and our grandparents did, who had no education, who sent their first generations to college. We were on our way somewhere, and then something happened in the 50s. One of the big things I think that happened is they took the Bible out of school. People don't know, a lot of you young people don't even know the Bible was curriculum. And I'm not religious once again, but the Bible gives us a strong moral code to live by. We were family. We were community. We knew our neighbors. Our children played outside, met new friends. Those new friends wanted to spend the night, and they had to ask their parents, and their parents became friends. Today, mom's in the park on fentanyl, and we think they give us this propaganda about it comes from China, it comes from here. They didn't want this stuff in this country, it wouldn't be here. This is a weapon against us. There is an attack on all of us, red, blue, conservative, liberal, it doesn't matter. The American is under attack. Our dollar is buying a lot less. We're working a lot harder for it. We're losing our constitutional rights, whether you realize it or not.
Did you motherfuckers hear what Elon Musk's father said on CNN?
You see, if you take South Africa, we have a small white population that projects the European culture, or what we learned from Europe.
And oppressed millions of black people.
No.
For decades.
How do you oppress? We gave them work. We fed them. They grew from a tiny little group into a massive group. That's not oppression. That's feeding them. We fed them, for crying out loud. Enough with this nonsense.
But so you understand, because the black population was so oppressed under apartheid.
Well, we never saw this oppression you're talking about.
You never saw it.
No, I never saw it.
Yeah, because you're white.
So now you can understand where his hate for black people come from. Like father, like son. The fact that he went on CNN and said that and act like nothing was wrong. That's probably how most of you motherfuckers from that age group actually feel. People like this is the reason why racism still exists. It's not just in this country, it's all around the world. Birds of a feather flock together. Why you think Elon and Trump was so cool? But people to still think like this in this day and age is insane.
All right, what is meat? Let's figure out what meat is. Now we moving on to meat. A lot of us think we know. We don't know. We don't know. We think we know. What is meat really? All right, what is meat really? Okay. Share this last thought, watch party, subscribe to the university. All right. But see, it's a frequency war, people. Everything is by design to keep us out of power, or was done to keep us out of power. So what is meat? Meat is the flesh of an animal, especially a mammal, as food. Okay. So meat. This meat that we eating, all right? This meat that we eating is what? The flesh. The flesh. All right? Because see, that jumps over people's head. Like, I'm eating meat. No, I want y'all to meditate on this. So you can come into your God power. All right? A lot of y'all been hitting me up. Hey, how do I meditate? How do I do this? Do you know that meat blocks meditation? All right? And I wanted to focus on something in meat. The definition was what? The flesh of an animal as food. Okay, so the flesh of an animal would not be considered meat. It's only considered meat if you take the flesh of an animal and then consume it. It is now considered meat. Let me run it back. See, they tricky with their definitions. You got to pay attention. Exactly. Meat is the flesh of an animal that is used as food. Okay, and we know what food is. What is food for? Livestock and cattle. Stay focused. We getting deep. Y'all put your seatbelts on. We finna get deep. It gets deep. All right, top 3 meats used to destroy blacks and Latinos, aka the gods. Okay, beef, poultry, and pork. Hey, shit finna get deep, man. Let me get me a sip of water. What is beef? All right, I know that beef looking probably good to some people right now. You hear me? It's probably looking real good. But that's okay, because what's good look good to you, and everything look good to you ain't good for you. Let's go. What is beef? What is beef? What is beef? Let's go, Wikipedia. Gonna work our way through everything. What is beef? All right, up, here we go. We getting deep. Because wait, what was the question? First question was what? What is meat? We know what meat is, right? And then when they end up put us right here to the top 3 meats: beef, poultry, and pork. A lot of y'all want to know, hey, I'm trying to get in, I'm trying to meditate more, I'm trying to get in my God DNA, I'm trying to activate my chakras, okay? But you can't do it without eating, without the proper diet. It's just like working out. You can go lift 1,000,000 weights, run 1,000 miles. Your ass can run from here to Alaska and back every day, all day, and you still won't get to where you're trying to get to if you don't eat the proper foods, right? Okay, so we talking about the top 3 meats, keyword, used to destroy you. They know what you are, but they got you believing you meat, and they feeding you this shit. See, they can eat it. They can eat it because they have animal DNA. Human beings have animal DNA. They are cannibals. All right, they were spliced with dogs, pigs, snub-nosed monkey, lemur, and a drop of God DNA. This is why when they go to the motherfucking places and they get their steaks and shit, they get it damn near, they want the blood in their shit. When I order my steaks, I be like, well done. They order their steaks medium rare. Fuck medium. Give it to me rare. All the blood you can give it to me. Give it to me rare. Like, that's how they want it. And we don't sit back and think about that and be like why? Why do white people like their steaks like that? And why do they like a lot the blood, right? The drinking of the blood, all right? We finna find out why.
All right, y'all, the first clip. For all these big Walmart stores or whatever, state to state, that have been closing down, do you really think they're preparing to make those basically like a detention center, isolation camp, some detention camp for whoever don't listen when the time comes, for whatever they're trying to do? Whoever don't cooperate, whoever don't listen, this way you're going to end up in these detention camps. This why because it's built like a jail system, people. And you can house sitting people on top of each other like that. That's a lot of people you can have in there. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section, because that's crazy. And Walmart, you know, these big owners, you know, they being owned by the one major company, so you could know what's going on here. Let me know how y'all feel about that. And the second clip is basically a lot of people is under, you know, that guy was just saying people, we under illusion, people. You know, we think about the cars and the jewelry and certain things, and we idolize these actors and certain things, you know, not seeing the bigger picture that's really there for you to see, you know. But somehow, these last months or a year or two, the veil has been lifted, so we will be able to see better, people. Trust me when I tell you. And then for the third clip, is crazy because we got Elon Musk. This is the first time I've ever seen his pops really too, but he's speaking on black people. How y'all feel about that in the comment section? Let me know, man, and especially what he's speaking about. Let me know if y'all agree, because I don't really want to touch up too much on the Elon Musk character, you understand, and his pops. But let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section. And fourth clip is Rashad Jamal basically breaking down, not basically like, you know, meat is meat, but what is meat really? Why it's bad for us, why we don't need it, why we're basically putting, you know, dead animals in our body. That's what we're doing, you know. Everything we eat is plant-based and should be like alive in a certain way, and yet we putting all these dead animals in our body. Do y'all think that meat is really good for us in any way, form, or fashion? Let me know how y'all feel about that in the comment section.
There are 3 individuals who call New York home. We don't know whether those individuals will be returning to New York. I believe that there is a 42-day monitoring period, and they can decide whether they want to do that in Nebraska or come back and make other accommodations. But my health department, my departments, all have been involved with the CDC from the beginning. And I want to make sure that the CDC is capable of handling something should it grow larger than they're predicting. You know, we have outstanding researchers here in the state of New York, scientists. Our Wadsworth laboratory is second to none. So I've activated them to start preparing New York for worst case scenarios and hope they don't come. But I cannot, as governor, not be prepared for anything that could happen. And again, given our concern about Washington, that I have to step up and make sure that New York is helping lead the way here.
NASA loves to limit the information they give us, and they don't even know how many planets are in our solar system. They tell us 9, but there's actually 40 total. So there's 39 planets in addition to Earth. Every one of those 39 planets have different civilizations. They trade with one another. They trade technology. They trade farming. What they call gas giants are thriving planets with civilizations on them. Since Venus is the closest to Earth, they have tried to make us think, oh, it's way too hot for anybody to live on Venus, which is nonsense. There's a civilization up on Venus, and apparently they visited us several times. If you've read any of the Adamski books, they look like just, They look like what? Us. Yeah, like us, right.
Our teeth ain't made to eat no meat.
Come on.
A gorilla don't eat meat. An elephant don't eat meat. A cow don't eat meat. What the hell I'm eating it for? I'm taking a dead animal, putting it in a live body. So if you put death into life, God is in you, he eat up there. I'm killing the God in me. We so goddamn weak. We live to eat. We don't eat to live. This is eat to live.
Yeah. It's an addiction too, because the meats are full of hormones and drugs and all that.
There's 50 chemicals in Chick-fil-A. There's over 50 man-made chemicals in Chick-fil-A. Yeah. That's why they're in a line. Every Chick-fil-A got a line.
Eating some dope, you eating some dope.
Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it. Are you listening to me, Neo?
Alright, y'all. We reached the end of the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. And before we leave, y'all know I gotta leave y'all with a few words. Who can't hear must feel. Those that feels it knows it. And once you know better, you do better. And the truth shall set you free. I'm out.